severe shock where the question is absorption, high Rayleigh tube aspirate, all those things are relative contraindication for oral therapy. How much antibiotic should be prescribed? See, always remember, first dose of antibiotic is full dosage. First dose depends upon the volume of distribution, not depend upon the excretion from that of the kidney. Very, very important. Are there any contraindication or cautions for prescribing this antibiotic? This particularly allergic manifestation. Remember, if a patient is penicillin allergy, don't use other beta lactams. Other beta lactams are cephalosporins, carbapenems, monobactam, aztreonam. Preferably better avoid those like beta lactam group of antibiotic. Okay, sometimes we can go for monobactam, that is aztreonam, in a patient who is going to be like sensitive to penicillin group of antibiotic. Some more questions. Okay, what are the side effects of the antibiotic, particularly if the patient is already having a renal dysfunction? Careful about the amikacin, careful about the colistin. We can choose the alternative agents. When should the patient be reviewed? See, in the next hour itself, you given an antibiotic, next hour itself, you see what is happening to his hemodynamics, what is happening to his clinical scenario. As early as possible, whatever the agent you started as a broad spectrum empirical therapy, you should be narrowed down once you have some idea which organ is involved, which organism is involved. When can I switch from IV to oral? As I already told, when the patient is tolerating orally, it is better to go. Particularly, see, if you are giving a linezolid, IV linezolid will come with 300 ml. So in a CKD patient, you want to cover for gram positive with linezolid, where the volume restriction is very important. It add to 600 ml. So we need to go for oral therapy in that condition. Do the results of microbiology investigation identify a specific causative organism? See, data is available. It is very, very clear. So when you consider empirical therapy and when you continue the empirical therapy without changing for prolonged time, the outcome benefit is poor, because the data suggests if you make an attempt to identify the organism. That's why we have currently so-called rapid diagnostic methods. We have biofire, film array, multiplex, pan PCRs and all. Because if you made an attempt to identify the causative organism, that helps in improving the mortality. Evidence is suggesting that. Okay, so what other factors to consider? Spectrum of coverage. Okay, whether it only covers like selected gram negative, or it is a gram negative, gram positive, anaerobic with anti-pseudomonal activity, that we need to consider. Local pattern of resistance. What is our antibiogram in the last 6 months? That antibiogram should be specific to your medical ICU, surgical ICU, immunocompromised ICU, okay, cardiac ICU. So very, very important, because what organisms we are dealing in a mixed medical surgical ICU may be different in a bone marrow transplant unit. Okay, so antibiotic pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, we have a fantastic session on this. Okay, so we need to understand when to give prolonged infusion, when to give a bolus dosage. We know that aminoglycosides act by concentration dependent, beta lactams acts by time dependent killing, prolonged infusion, MCQ. Okay, so adherence and convenience. Suppose if we have an agent which we can give twice a daily, it is better as compared to that of 6 times daily because of the compliance. Consider the toxicity, allergy, cost of the antibiotic. Again, finally, what formulation, that is I told IV versus that of the per oral. So move on to one by one. Okay, so what antibiotic we can select based on source and site of infection? When it comes to skin soft tissue infection, staphylococcal toxic shock syndrome, preferably penicillin is the choice. Early post-operative wound infection, we can consider some sort of penicillin with like BLI combination, piperacillin, tazobactam. With an intact immunity, we can go for penicillin group of antibiotic. When a patient had rapid deterioration due to high virulence of the organism, it is better to consider second or third generation cephalosporin with a BL-BLI combination, maybe ceftazidime, ceftazidime, tazobactam, okay, cefepime, that is the fourth generation antibiotic cephalosporin. Okay, progression to necrotizing fasciitis with the background of skin soft tissue infection with myositis, consider early surgical debridement with an antibiotic, otherwise it may not act. So clindamycin having an effect on the neutralization of the toxin production from the gram positive organism, that is an option for necrotizing fasciitis. We can go up to 900 milligram Q8 hourly or 600 milligram Q6 hourly for clindamycin. Clindamycin is a lincosamide group of antibiotic.